Hi, I'm Val Thompson, President of Houston International Trade Development Council. I'm here at the Southern News Group studios to interview the Honorable Cynthia L. Blandford, Honorary Consul to the Republic of Liberia. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Val. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be with you today.
It's my pleasure. So, you're visiting Houston. How do you like Houston?
Well, I love Houston. I've been here on several occasions, and under your leadership, we've been here for Sister City. We've been here now with the National Port Authority of Liberia, so it's an honor to be here, and thank you so much for the invitation.
You bet. And your position as Honorary Consul to the Republic of Liberia, what are some of your duties, or what are some of the things you have to do for your, let's just say, constituents, if you will?
Well, thank you for the question. I actually was appointed by Her Excellency Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in 2009 as the first African-American woman to be appointed to this post as an honorary consul. And then I'm very happy to serve under the new president, His Excellency George Manawia. So my responsibilities on the diplomatic side, I have to offer visa and consular services to my constituents. There are over 25,000 Liberians in the state of Georgia, and they count on me to ensure that they have an opportunity to go home. We stamp their passport book, and we send them on to Liberia. In addition to that, we also have relationships with 19 institutional partners. We have Georgia Tech, Emory, Clark Atlanta, Morehouse School of Medicine. A number of these institutions are providing scholarships to Liberian students, and we're so delighted to have them on board with us. And of course, you can imagine with transportation, we also now have partnerships with our seaport and our airports, and we're very delighted to be a partner with them.
As a diplomat, I'm sure you'll answer this question. What is the relationship between the United States and the Republic of Liberia?
Well, it goes back, we're getting ready actually to celebrate the bicentennial. The American Colonization Society 200 years ago offered opportunities for free black men and women to come to Liberia to find their new way, their new home. And so Liberia was chosen as that country in West Africa. So those diplomatic and cultural and historical ties go back 200 plus years. And so as we get ready for the bicentennial, it's an opportunity to celebrate the rich history and culture of Liberia and American history. African Americans, many of us don't know our history. So this is an opportunity to learn about Liberia and the deep and rich relationship that we have with them.
Okay, you know, I've heard, well, I can say I've heard, but I'm involved with a trade mission that we have organized for April 21st through 29, 2022. Can you give us some information about that?
Well, I'm so excited. This is the first Houston-Atlanta trade mission to Monrovia, Liberia, April the 21st to the 29th. And you and I are working collectively. Our companies, the Houston International Trade Development Council,
yes,
and Global Strategies for Good out of Atlanta, Georgia. We've been doing this work now for over 20 years. So collectively, we've teamed up to say, let's do it together where we can have the most impact. So I'm very delighted that I'm also going to be co-hosting this particular trade mission with Honorable Dr. Carolyn Evans-Shabazz. She's a Houston City Council member, District D, and she and I will collectively together with you bring Houstonians and people from Atlanta to Liberia for this particular 10-day trade mission. We'll have an opportunity to meet with the National Port Authority, the University of Liberia, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. We'll have an opportunity to engage with the civil society. And because this is the bicentennial, we'll also have an opportunity to really talk about the history of Liberia and the culture and why it's important for African Americans to understand that Liberia really is their ancestral home.
Right. So now you mentioned that this trip is in Atlanta, Houston. I think that's very interesting. I know this was your idea, right? And so I'm just, it was your idea, and I think it was a great idea. But where's the synergy you think that might be between Houston and Atlanta? I think there is, but I want to hear what you might feel.
Well, clearly we have our distinguished delegation here from Liberia, Honorable Bill Tweeway and his delegation from the National Port Authority of Liberia. Great. Two of the best-in-class ports in North America would be the Houston Port Authority and the Georgia Port Authority.
Right.
And so collectively together, we are looking at increasing trade, both imports and exports, so that Liberia can benefit from all the different kinds of commodities and opportunities that can be offered. So for example, for Houston, we know there's oil and gas in Liberia. You know, we've had oil and gas opportunities, but not at the commercial level. So the need for oil and gas is important. And so I know that under the leadership of Honorable Bill Tweeway, we're looking at ways that we can have the oil and gas discussions. Out of the Georgia Port Authority, the biggest export, and through our sister port agreement, which we hope will be reauthorized in the first of the year, along with the Houston Port Authority with NPA, we're exporting chicken. And we're also exporting textiles, automobiles, and other types of things that the country needs. But we want to ensure that the trade is balanced. And what we're finding is that many of the containers are coming back from Liberia empty. So we're going to be strengthening that relationship with the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, to ensure that we have the right type of packaging for our Liberian business owners, our small to medium-sized business owners, so they too can be successful exporting their products to the American consumers.
Right. Can you give us a little more information about the trade mission? And what I mean by that, you've told us, you know, the leadership and so forth, but what are some of the things that are going to happen? What are some of the things that you have planned and scheduled that will, you know, that anybody to participate on this mission will find interesting?
Well, I think for those who are interested in looking at business opportunities in particular, it's important that the market is in Africa. So Liberia is open for business, Africa is open for business. So while we're on this important trade mission, those who are interested will have an opportunity to learn about the National Investment Commission, what type of imports are needed in Liberia, how you can start your own business, for example. I started my company there in Liberia. You have to have an office there, you have to have a presence there, you have to know the culture, and you have to know the people. So it's really an opportunity for you to have boots on the ground, get familiar, because really and truly you can talk about, you know, visiting Liberia, but it's important to actually get to the country. So the activities will include, we have an investment, what we call workshop. We're going to be having commodities, Liberian honey, Liberian teas. You'll be able to look at those commodities, see if those are of interest to you, Liberian pepper. So it's going to be an opportunity for American businesses to say, okay, this is something I'm interested in, and perhaps develop a partnership with a Liberian small to medium-sized business owner to talk about exporting those commodities to Liberia, to the United States. Yeah. We'll also have an opportunity to visit the University of Liberia. And it just so happens that as an exchange student, a Rotarian scholar back in the 70s, I attended the University of Liberia, so I claim the University of Liberia. Dr. Shabazz will have an opportunity to meet with some of the honors scholars students. We'll have a chance to have interchange between faculty, staff, and students, and develop relationships. Honorable Tweeway mentioned the need for scholarships for Liberian students. It's very important that young people have the opportunity to come to America, get their education, and then take that brain knowledge and go home and make sure that they're providing that kind of intellectual knowledge transfer in all kinds of industries, whether it be port management, airport management, no matter what. But Liberians who come here for their education, they have a responsibility to go back home and help build up that country. So we'll also have an opportunity to have a reception with the ambassador, the U.S. ambassador to Liberia, His Excellency Michael McCarthy. He's been very gracious to us. As you know, we were there in June as a part of the advanced trip. Yes. And he's offered that opportunity and has agreed to gracefully host us at his home. So for those of you who want to meet the U.S. Ambassador, Honorable McCarthy, he's certainly happy to have that audience with us.
Oh, that's going to be fantastic. Before we end the interview, is there anything you would like to share with us, share with the audience?
Well, for me, I think it's important as an African-American woman, and this is the bicentennial coming up, the 200th anniversary of the point of return, the door of return, the land of return, Liberia. It's important for African-American men, women, and children to know that there is a rich history between Liberia and the United States of America. When I lived there in 1974, 75, Liberia changed my life, my perspective. I'm writing my memoirs, actually, about my experience, and who would have imagined as a young girl, you know, 20 or 30 years later, I'm now representing the Republic of Liberia as the president's representative in the state of Georgia. I'm also doing business in Liberia. So it's important that you come to Liberia to see for yourself. It's the food, it's the people, it's the culture, it's the land. land. And more important, as we talk about land, come and build your home there. Come and vacation there. Liberia has some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. Liberia has a surfing industry, which most people don't even know about. Patawi Falls, the beautiful Cape Mount, all kinds of places that have, great places to eat, great places to experience, and of course, great places to meet the wonderful people of Liberia. So on behalf of the Liberian Consulate in Atlanta, Georgia, I want to say a very special thanks to Val Thompson for your leadership, for your love of Liberia, and for all the good work you do on behalf of the people of Liberia.
Well, thank you. I've been to Liberia many times, but I am certainly looking forward to this trip, April 21st to 29th, 2022. And I'm certainly going to be looking forward to being on that trip with you.
Thank you.
The Honorable Cynthia L. Blandford, Honorary Consul to the Republic of Liberia. It's been a pleasure interviewing you.
Thank you. It's my distinct honor and pleasure. Thanks so much, Val.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.